CelinaSpookyBoo, huge psychic medium, friend of Sam and Colby, and partner to Call Me Chris when it comes to YouTube collaborations, has recently had an expose, per se, put out on her from the Side-Eye Guy, who is a popular debunker here on YouTube. Now, the topic in hand is sort of partially to do with her psychic claims and the, the way that she portrays herself within videos, but it is also to deal with a larger summary of basically something that she put out a couple of years ago, which was a video about her allegedly being stalked by the murderer of Victoria Stafford. Now, apparently, Celina was witness in the trial, or was a witness, sorry, in the trial of Victoria, and after which she was apparently stalked by the killer. Now, CelinaSpookyBoo did put out a video about this 2 years ago, as you can see, My Stalker, the Murderer, and basically she goes on to talk about, how hard it's been for her, since doing this, but the Side-Eye Guy and Agent F, who the Side-Eye Guy credits for, some support and research within this video, has come forward to basically show that the court transcripts may potentially expose and debunk CelinaSpookyBoo's stalker story. At least that's the title of the video. Now, just to give some context to show that, this isn't the Side-Eye Guy, taking jabs, roasts, and all the rest of it like we typically tend to see. He actually took quite a serious dive into this.
That I find a video that I'm not sure I should make. Usually I follow my gut and just go for it, but the subject matter today is very delicate and controversial. I'm sure I'll get my fair share of CelinaSpookyBoo fans who will defend her no matter what. The two big reasons that I went down the path of researching and creating this video today is the alarming and disgusting lies Celina told in that Sam and Colby Hell Week video when she claimed that in the Ferrara school, when the location was operational as an elementary school, that children were being essayed, murdered, and their bodies were incinerated in the school basement boiler.
No? What's up? What's up? What did you see? What did you see?
That's what happened.
What happened? What? Really? What? What are you feeling?
So I get flashes and pictures. It's like someone else's memory in my head. I don't know if it was a teacher or who it was, but I'm sad to see it. I saw a man sitting on a chair, and then the flash, it was like different kids.
Let's see if he's rotting in hell or not, I guess.
And right away, and they started it up, and then he used a shovel. But I think, whatever's left is, buried.
I debunked this nonsense when I covered Sam and Colby's Hell Week video several months ago, but
now, obviously, that is kind of the gist of the segue into, pardon the pun, into the video. Now, it's also worth mentioning that down in the description of this video, the Side-Eye Guy put, CelinaSpookyBoo, in my opinion, is a fake psychic medium. I believe myself and Agent F have found some inconsistencies and flat-out lies in her video where she tells her story about her experience with getting stalked by a real-life murderer. I want to make this clear, and obviously this is why I'm segueing this into the video, because not everyone will read the description of a video, and I think it's important context for the narrative. My issue is with the 23-year-old making the YouTube video, not the 17-year-old girl taking to the stand. I believe this 17-year-old Celina is telling the truth. Alright, so that's obviously worth noting. But within the video, the Side-Eye Guy goes on to talk about a hell of a lot of different things. Obviously, I want to state as well, if you want the full video, because that's the only part of the video I'm going to be using, other parts are just going to be like the key takeaway points and a bit of a summary. Please go and check out the Side-Eye Guy's full video over on his YouTube channel. Anyway, let's continue. So, obviously, the controversial claims by Celina are what segue this video. So, the idea of the video is to address Celina's claims in a Sam and Colby video, Hell Week video, where she alleged that children were being SA'd, murdered, and incinerated in the basement of the boiler of the Ferrara school when it was operational. Now, obviously, it's worth noting that there was no credible evidence to back up and support these claims, just what Celina said. Also, I want to caveat as well by stating that I did reach out to Celina when the Side-Eye Guy made that first video to try and see if she would, had any comments about it. She didn't respond. Not that I expected a response, but, just for the sake of transparency and for the sake of keeping all sides fair. I did reach out to, I think she was going through her IVF journey, so she was very busy at that time. So, you know, it is what it is, but just worth noting. Anyway, she also goes on to talk about channeling Lorraine Warren. That's Celina, by the way. So Celina basically expresses her desire to channel the late Lorraine Warren, aiming to emulate the Warrens' paranormal investigation legacy with her husband Adam across North America. Now, the side eye compares Celina to Lorraine Warren, suggesting they both have exaggerated claims of real-life murder cases to support their own narratives. Obviously, that's, I guess that depends on what your take is on Celina and also on Lorraine Warren. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it, which is the Victoria Stafford case. Now, Celina was a witness in the trial of Victoria, otherwise known as Tori Stafford's killer. So, the side-eye guy accuses her of exaggerating her involvement in the case for attention, noting discrepancies between her YouTube account and the court testimony. So, obviously, people are going to read this and be like, oh, she lied in court. She didn't lie in court, and that's why I found it important to read out the side-eye guy's description. Because basically within the video what he's stating is within the video that she made, right, she may have exaggerated some of the claims that she stated and made herself a bit more of a main character within the court than she actually potentially was based off of the court transcripts. That's worth noting. So there was an alleged stalking incident, of course. So Celina claims in her YouTube video that she was stalked by Tori's killer, who contacted her via an app called Zeus, found her workplace and parked near her car. However, these details were not mentioned in a court testimony, leading the side-eye guy to question their validity in the claims. And then in court, Celina did not mention the stalking incident or a significant phone call from the killer on the day of Tori's murder, despite opportunities to do so. And the side-eye guy suggests that she may have either forgotten or potentially fabricated these details for the sake of her YouTube video. Now, it's also worth noting that, you know, I think people, when they see debunkers, they think of them as very hard-hitting people who will just go straight for the jugular and won't play both sides and won't be like, maybe she forgot, maybe there's this, maybe there's that. But in this video, I think it's very fair to say that the side-eye guy does play both sides. You know, he says this is what the transcript says for a fact, this is what her video says for a fact. Now, is there a possibility that things were forgotten? Possibly, but there's also a chance that it was exaggerated. And then obviously when that was the whole point in linking it back to the Farrar School claims is, you know, it's not, in his opinion, not out of the realms of possibility for Celina to make these bold, assertive claims that may not necessarily be true to, you know, progress a narrative for the sake of potential views. Just saying. Now, there's also some court testimony discrepancies. So in court, Celina did not mention, of course, the stalking incident or that significant phone call, like I stated. And, you know, there's also a claim of exaggeration or half-truths from the side-eye guy. So the side-eye guy points out some inconsistencies, such as Celina claiming that she released 500 balloons for Tori, while an article confirms it was around 300, and she failed to credit a friend who helped. He believed that Celina sensationalizes her story for clout and views. Obviously, some people would look at it as, you know, a couple of hundred balloons, what's the point? But, you know, it's, I think it's the point is, you know, it's the idea that that's a sensationalized, potentially sensationalized fact. So what else could potentially be sensationalized? Anyway, there was also an FBI misstatement. So Celina incorrectly claimed that the FBI was actually involved in the Tori case, which occurred in Canada. But the FBI has no jurisdiction in Canada, only in the United States, and this is cited as another example of her embellishing some potential details. Now, PTSD and trauma claims. Now, Celina states that she suffers from PTSD due to the stalking and the Tori case, but the side-eye guy doubts the extent of her trauma, especially given her behaviour in ghost hunting videos, where she appears unaffected by loud noises and knocking. Now, I'm not going to pass judgment on that or comment, because I know that PTSD and trauma can come in all shapes and sizes, and I've seen it firsthand in people, so I'm not going to pass comment, but it was a point that was made within the video. Now, there's also a moral critique from the side-eye guy, where he basically criticizes Celina for making some very serious, unverified claims about the Farrar School, which he believed cheapens her narrative about Tori's tragedy, and he views her psychic medium claims as unreliable and potentially attention-seeking. But despite his skepticism, and this is something that I must mention, the side-eye guy acknowledges that the events likely affected Celina to some degree and urges viewers not to send hate to her channel, and he credits Agent F for the research and assistance and encourages viewers to read the court transcripts for their own opinions. Now, I want to also extend that sentiment based off of this video. Although I do like to play, you know, straight down the middle and not pass judgment, because that's not my place to do so, I think other people could potentially do that. So I also want to extend that notion. Don't go over to any channel, whether it be the Side-Eye Guy or whether it be CelinaSpookyBoo from this video, because ultimately there is something that has happened, all right, and that is the bottom line of it. But how much may have potentially happened actually that they stated in court compared to their video is obviously what's up in the air. So please do not go over to anyone's YouTube channel or YouTube videos spreading negativity or anything like that. But what do you guys think? Like I said, if you want the full video from Celina, it's the My Stalker the Murderer video that she uploaded 2 years ago. And if you want the Side-Eye Guy's full video, it's over on his channel, and it's called Court Transcript Exposed and Debunks CelinaSpookyBoo's Stalker Story, The Truth Revealed. So obviously go over to those videos if you are interested and check them out for yourselves, and then you can get your own kind of full narrative and idea on it. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below though while you're down there. Jump scare the hell out of that like button and subscribe, and until next time, speak to you later. Peace!